We are actually technology hungry here, having not had a lot of technology at the point of care. We were one of the early leaders in information technology and healthcare and have fallen behind a little bit. So we are actually very excited and pleased to be in with this particular product.
What I have here is the Motion C5. The clinicians gave us extensive feedback, and Paul mentioned all the work that Intel had done on research into usability for a device like this. You'll notice there's no rubber strap on the back. That was a great example. The clinicians actually told us 5 things. Make it disinfectable, make it durable, include a barcode scanner, include RFID technology, and include a camera.
The C5 mobile assistant could revolutionize how healthcare is delivered in hospitals. Intel began developing prototypes of this mobile PC in 2005. Motion Computing was the first to actually build a real mobile clinical assistant.
None of barcode scanners, RFID readers, cameras, certainly not new. What's new is appreciating the ecosystem in which they need to work. A nurse wheeling around a cow with a barcode scanner on it, an RFID reader, a camera, none of which talk to anything else particularly well, has proven to be a miserable disaster. The IT shops can't get this stuff in place, can't support it fast enough. The vendors don't make them connect well enough, and you end up with exactly what we have, a digital device that records blood pressures, heart rates, O2 sats, sitting there. Someone writes it down on a piece of paper, and hours later it ends up in a system. Someone uses a digital camera and then carries the picture around until tomorrow when they remember they have to download into the system. This is the first time we've looked at those problems. The technology vendors came to us and said, how do we do this better? And we said, look, put it all into one, get it all talking to each other, and give the clinicians a device that they can use to take care of patients and not try to figure out which piece of technology I'm supposed to grab off a shelf to take with me to do this task.
If you just look at the target market as being 13 or 20 million nurses or whatever was on the video, I would agree that's a relatively small number in the grand scheme of what Intel builds every year. But it's a much bigger quest that we're after. I mean, this is about taking the world's largest industry, healthcare, and the world's least penetrated industry as a result, as a percent of IT purchases, and bringing it into a more productive state by the application of IT. To do that, you need to work on every edge of the problem. You need to work in the back end, the health IT systems. You need to work around common languages, which is our efforts in Dacia. You need to work on electronic medical records, which is our efforts there. You need to work on the home, and we'll talk more about that in a future session. And you need to work more in the clinics where the data is actually accumulated and then brought to a place where it can actually be dealt with. So from that perspective, this is a very critical linchpin in filling out the entirety of that system. And I think it's a giant opportunity. That's why we created a business unit around it.
The medical industry is high-tech intensive, with advanced devices that diagnose and treat crippling diseases. But hospitals have not fully benefited from the information technology boom that began with personal computing in the 1980s. Nurses and doctors often use some surprisingly old-fashioned networked equipment to create, store, and work with patient records. This is what many hospitals currently use, a cow, known as a computer on wheels.
So this is the current device that there's no ability, at least on this device right now, for a barcode scanner. We'd have to, it could be done. And when we first put this into place, the nurses said, if I have to wheel this around, we'll show you in a minute a Dynamap, which is our automatic vital sign retrieval device. It's like, why can't I just have the Dynamap sitting here and just have it all interactive? And that's what we're doing with this tablet.
This is the machine that we use for patient assessment. All the information we need are in here, and then we just add in more information to it with the Dynamap for the blood pressure readings. So here I'm going to push this to get the information. This will be the blood pressures. This will be the pulse, and this will be the oxygen saturation. And this information we get from the little device on his finger, and the blood pressure we get from the blood pressure cuff on his right arm. Okay, So we do have his readings, 155 over 67, his heart rate is 53, and his pulse oximeter is 97%.
Well, we've got a mic.